Okay, Dan, today we're going to talk about who actually killed Goliath. Maybe you've heard of the controversy. There's a lot of skeptics out there that say there's a big inaccuracy in the Hebrew text, that some other guy killed Goliath, and therefore the whole Hebrew text is unreliable. We're going to get to the bottom of that today and talk about a few interesting things on the way. So the first verse we're going to look at is 2 Samuel 21:19. In the NAS, it says that Elhanan, the son of Ya'are-Orgim, the Bethlehemite, killed Goliath the Gittite, the shaft of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. Wow, so according to this verse, this guy, Elhanan, killed Goliath. Maybe it's a different Goliath. I don't think so, because it's written, the shaft of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. That's exactly the same thing that is written in 1 Samuel 17 when it's talking about how David killed Goliath. It says the shaft of his spear was like a weaver's beam. So this little phrase serves to identify the Goliath. There's not two Goliaths, there's just one. Let's see what's going on with the Hebrew. Vayach Elhanan ben Ya'are Orgim bet Alachmi et Goliath Agiti. That's pretty clear. Elhanan, son of Ya'are Orgim, the Bethlehemite, killed Goliath the Gittite. Crystal clear. Let's see what the Czech Study Bible has to say. Elhanan, son of Ya'are Orgim, the Bethlehemite, killed Goliath. That's correct. A good translation. The note in the Study Bible explains what's going on here, that Elhanan killed Goliath's brother. So that's why we need study Bibles. That's why study Bibles are so good, and everybody should be using study Bibles and should be reading every single note in them. Let's see how the translators dealt with it in English. It's kind of a mess. Yes, the NIV says that Elhanan killed the brother of Goliath. Now that is in fact true. That is what happened. But in this verse, the brother of does not exist in the Hebrew text. So if you're going to insert it here, at least use italics. And there's a lot of verses that don't use italics. This one used italics. That's more correct. Okay, the King James Version, or the New King James and the King James, they added the brother of. Let's find that Jubilee Bible. That one has always been pretty good. Elhanan killed Goliath. That's right. No brother of. There is a parallel passage that explains what's going on, and that's 1 Chronicles 20, verse 5. It says that Elhanan, son of Yair, killed Lachmi, the brother of Goliath the Gittite. Let's look at the Hebrew here. Vayach Elhanan ben Yair et Lachmi achi Goliath Agiti. So this explains a lot. Let's check out the Hebrew and see what's going on. So the top verse is 2 Samuel. This is the verse that contains the copyist error, the scribal error. 1 Chronicles 25 is the parallel passage that explains what's going on. The first thing that we need to look at is son of Ya'are-Orgim in 2 Samuel, and 1 Chronicles just says son of Yair. Now, Orgim is just another name for Yair, and they put it together here. Now, it doesn't say Yair like down here, because this is what is called in Hebrew the construct, where they connect two words. So that's a grammatical thing that has to be here, and that's okay. There's no problem there. The problem is here, Bet Halachmi. Now, Elhanan was not a Bethlehemite. Don't get him mixed up with the other Elhanan, who was a Bethlehemite from 2 Samuel 23-24. That Elhanan is the son of Dodo. This Elhanan is the son of Yair, so we don't have to worry about that. But the copyist error is pretty clear. Here it's Bet Halachmi. and here it's et lachmi. This is the direct object indicator directing us to who was killed, which was Lachmi. This is the name of the person who was killed, and that's the brother of Goliath. So you can see how the scribe could get it mixed up. It sounds and looks the same. Betalachmi, et lachmi. He wasn't a Bethlehemite, it was Lachmi who was killed. The second problem is here. This is another direct object indicator directing us to who was killed in this verse, which is Goliath, and that's incorrect. Here, it's not a direct object indicator, but it is the word ach, which means brother. You can see also how the scribe could have made a mistake here. It looks similar, and if you look at this letter, tav and chet, these two letters are often mixed up. They look very similar. If you just cut off this little foot here, then it's the same letter. So no wonder he made a mistake. And thank goodness we have this parallel passage, otherwise we'd be totally lost. So it's not Goliath who was killed, it's the brother of Goliath, the Gittite, who was killed. So this brings to mind the doctrine of biblical inerrancy. Some people misunderstand this doctrine, and they believe that the original texts that we use contain no errors, but that is not what biblical inerrancy teaches. Biblical inerrancy teaches that whatever the Bible teaches to be true or says is a fact, that it is a fact and it is true. One thing to remember is that we do not possess any original autographs, original manuscripts from any of the authors. All we have are copies. So we have to deal with copyist errors, scribal errors, and this is one of them. Another interesting thing is that no copyist error has any impact on any theological teaching, on any important subject. It's just a whole bunch of these little mix-ups here that are all well documented and easily understandable. If you know Hebrew. If you don't know Hebrew, you can't see it really well. You don't get the little nuances, and you may be tempted to believe the skeptics who say that there are inconsistencies. But we can put this inconsistency to rest. I believe that the second verse, 1 Chronicles 20, verse 5, clearly illuminates this scribal error. So that's it for Goliath. We know that David killed Goliath and Elhanan killed Goliath's brother.